Howdy, 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 folks. It's your boy Tanks hitting you with another video today. And today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be talking about what the meta is in World of Tanks at the moment. Meta pretty much means the most effective way to win or play the game. If you want to play meta, you want to play the best tanks, you want to know the best strategies, and that'll help you be more effective and competitive on the battlefield. It'll pretty much give you the highest possible chance of winning. So what I'm going to be talking about is all strictly my opinion. I want to get that in the air. This is what I think. This is not, I haven't taken a poll on the community and seen what they said. No, this is just me, my opinion. So we're going to start things off. Like, one of the first things I want to put a little pin in is that speed in the game has been elevated to a new height. Every single tank is faster in the game because of the perks. And also, we've all been here because every single tank is so much more faster, or could be so much faster. The matches that we are in nowadays, and they are super fast matches. They are over in like 3-minute, 4-minute matches, which is crazy. There's no more, no more. Of course there is, but most of the matches that we play nowadays are just landslide victories on one or the other side. And some tanks that are less mobile can't keep up. And they do a shot of damage or two, and they're done. All the rest of the mediums are faster, heavies, completely wipe the side, push around, kill everything. The only time that you really can be useful as a slower tank is if you just happen to pick the right side of the map and all the enemies come to you. And then you can do something. But most of the time, that doesn't happen. And you will see a recurring theme through this video, and it's pretty much that speed is key now. Without it, you're left in the dust. And which brings me into the next little topic I want to talk about, and that's the new maps in the game. We got 3 new maps, and there will be more to come since Cold War, and they are big. They are big boy maps. Anything that doesn't have mobility on those maps is sort of screwed. You can't get in position fast enough because they're so big, and getting into position is one of the best and most important things you can be doing in a tank. And if you're not getting into position fast enough, and other people are taking position before you, you're automatically putting yourself at a disadvantage. So when we're speaking of slow-moving tanks and stuff, we're usually talking about, the super heavies, the big tank destroyers and stuff like that. Obviously, there's outliers to everything I'm going to be talking about in this game, but most of the time when you got a slow-moving tank, it generally means you're playing a super heavy or another heavy or a big TD. But either way, one thing that also is a problem for these things is view range and camo. On the bigger maps, you really want to have as best view range you can and as good camo as you can. Because if you don't have good view range, you're not going to be able to spot the things that are shooting you. Because one, they're going to have better view range, and probably they're going to have better camo than you also. So you, one, won't be able to spot them, and two, they're going to keep hitting you repeatedly, and they're going to be able to stay hidden. So that's also a big problem with the bigger maps, and well, not really the map's fault, but it's just more of the tank's fault. Slower moving tanks usually are super heavies or whatnot, and they can't see stuff as well. It's just simple like that. So if you're in a medium or a light tank, you're going to be able to outspot a heavy all day long and just destroy them. With that said, the perks in the game that have been added have drastically changed the meta of the game now, because of all the things I've sort of already touched on. The camo, the gun handling in the game is way, way better now. All the accuracy perks in the game. Now these stats can obviously help super heavies and slower moving tanks in the game, but what they really do is they completely make tanks that already had good gun handling, good camo, good maneuverability, good accuracy, they make those tanks even better, so that now they can shoot farther, they can shoot faster, they can shoot more accurately, they can relocate faster, pretty much making slow-moving heavies, just giant whales in the middle of the ocean that can't swim, while little teeny goldfish circle around it, do whatever the heck they want, and pick it to death. Just to give an example of this, the 430 before 6.0 had the best DPM out of the Russian mediums, but the thing that was really holding us back was its gun handling. It had pretty bad gun handling. But since the update came out with all of the gun handling perks and accuracy perks, the 430 can now use its full DPM, got better because of some of the reload perks in the game, and now it can just hit anything, pinpoint accuracy with its full DPM. The tank is an absolute beast. Now compare that to, I don't know, a mouse or something. Like, sure, a mouse got buffed, all of the same things got a buff on the mouse, but the 430, it's just still way better. It has better camo, it can stay further back, outspot the mouse, and just destroy it. Which leads into the next topic, and that is that armor is sort of become, I wouldn't say useless, but it's become way more easy to defeat. Slower moving tanks, generally speaking again, have got some pretty meaty armor. Now this armor width is just now easily defeated because tanks are so accurate and they can fire so accurately and so fast that you can aim for weak spots and easily pen anything. And if you can't pen it, then you just load premium and you still have to aim for a weak spot if you have that bad of pen. But either way, I mean, you're going to easily be able to go through enemy tanks at distance with the accuracy buffs that you have to the game. Now, if you've played anything that has a lot of armor, you generally are really sluggish when you move. So when you're being shot at, you try to, wiggle right and left, back and forth, and you do it very slowly because you have a lot of armor and you're slow, which just makes it very easy for a person to snipe your weak spots out. So that's another problem with tanks that are slower moving, is that they have bad engine power, bad power to weight ratio, and it makes it really easy for, people to snipe their weak spots. Another thing that I want to talk about is that if you get caught in a sticky situation in a slow moving tank, like let's say you're defending a side and you can tell that you're going to lose the side and you want to retreat, but you're not going to be fast enough to do that. All the other mediums and lights and all this faster moving tanks are going to dip out and they're going to leave you there, and you're going to be screwed because you can't get out of there. You're there and you're there. And also, if you're just trying to cross an open field and you get spotted and you got no cover, you're in a sticky situation again. And slow moving tanks, it makes it very difficult for you to get out of those situations because you don't have the speed to do it. And having that speed is what keeps you alive in the game, which makes it more competitive, and that's what you want to be doing. So now I'll talk about what you should be playing. What are the meta tanks in World of Tanks right now? And that is going to be anything that has mobility. Mediums with good maneuverability. Light tanks are very powerful. Heavies, you can play heavies. Heavies, there are still a lot of tech tree tanks that have very good mobility as heavies. Just to give a couple examples of some mediums, some of the better mediums you want to be playing. The Action 10 is a really good one. The 430. Any of the Russian tier 10 mediums are just really, really good right now, except for the K91, but that's just me. Let's see. Any of the American mediums, M60, 48 patent, stuff like that. Medium tanks generally have good mobility. Even if you get something, a big heavy medium, like, I don't know, 430U or something, it's still got decent mobility. Now, something lights, obviously. Any light is good. The Sheridan and the T100 are probably two of the best light tanks in the game at the moment. So, those will do everything a medium can do, spotting-wise and camo-wise, except better. They don't have the armor, but that's just lights. And heavies. There are still mobile heavy tanks that you should be playing. The Object 260, the QL, the 113, the 5A, the Machine. Oof, that's a good one right there. Any of the French tanks, the Batchat, the AMX series. Oh, I forgot to talk the Polish mediums in the game now. Those are fantastic tanks. Now, let's talk about tanks that you should not be playing, that are not meta. Those tanks are going to be your super heavies in the game. Like, those aren't just super heavies. There's also super heavy tank destroyers, okay? So, obviously, things like the Mouse, the Type 5, the Jagdpanzer U-100, the Badger, the Panzerkampfwagons, those kinds of tanks that are just big, stalking, slow tanks. And not to mention how accurate Artie is in the game, you're going to be priority number 1 for an Artie because he knows that he'll be able to hit you every single time. You're huge, you're slow. He's going to chomp on you like a snack, that's it. And that's why the harder of a target you make yourself, the harder it is also for Artie to hit you, and enemy tanks in general. So that's why you want to be choosing mobile tanks. Speed in the game is king right now. If you are not in a fast tank or a mobile tank, you are automatically putting yourself at a disadvantage. Mobility just allows you to do so much more and have such a bigger impact in your games. It allows you to retreat if you need to retreat. It allows you to go help another side if they need help. It allows you to be places that you need to be when you want to be there. Simple as that. That is the meta right now, you guys, is just having a mobile tank. Obviously, there's better tanks than others, but we're not going to be even getting into that. I just want to tell you guys what people are playing nowadays, and I've seen it in my games. A lot of lights playing, a lot of mediums, a lot of fast moving heavy tanks, a lot of people throwing the new equipment for speed onto their tanks, making them even faster. And to top it all off, base capping right now in the game is just, everybody loves doing it for some reason. To have the mobility to go reset your cap no matter where you are on the map is huge. You reset cap, you save game. That's it. If you're in a slow-moving heavy tank and you're the closest one to the flag and you still aren't fast enough to make it back, then, I mean, that's just a loss right there. But if you had a faster-moving tank, you wouldn't be able to save the game, possibly. Now, that's all I'm going to say on the topic, you guys. I hope this video helped you guys out and what you should start playing or start grinding towards or start focusing on. You guys, if you liked the video, then why don't you go down there and ammo rack that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell if you guys want to be notified when I post another video. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next game. Alrighty, you guys. Adios.